In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to draft this stylish bustier backless blouse. So to also join us on our detailed online bustier class, which is just going for 1,500 naira, they will be teaching you how to take proper measurement for your bustier, how to cut different types of bustier pattern, and also how to make your bustier properly. So now here is my pattern, and I've gone ahead to mark out my basic measurement. I have marked out my shoulder to bust line, shoulder to under bust line, shoulder to waist line, and the blouse length. So go ahead to use any blouse length of your choice. For mine, I added 5 inches after my waistline. I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder divided by 2, come down by 1 inch, place my ruler, and I'm going to draw out my shoulder slope or shoulder slant. Now, I'll go ahead to place my tape and I'll find my chest line. And to find your chest line or armhole line is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and place my ruler and draw out a straight line at that point. Next, I'm going to mark my shoulder on my chest line area. Now I'm going to place my tape and I'm going to connect. After I'm done connecting, I'm going to divide what I have here into 2 and I'm going to mark. From this point, I'll come in by ½ inch. Go ahead to mark my bust circumference divided by 4. Now I'll place my curved rule, connect from that point to the ½ inch I have at the armhole, and I'll extend this all the way up. Next, I'm going to mark my dart, and to mark that, you're going to need your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2, which gives me 3.5 inches, which I'll mark all the way to the lower part of my pattern. After that, I'm going to place my ruler and I'm going to draw a straight line connecting all the way down. After I'm done marking this, the next step I'll take is to mark where I want the dress or blouse to start. I'm using 1.5 inches above my chest line and I'll mark back my nipple to nipple. So that 1.5 inches is not a standard. If you're a bit busty, please go up by 2 inches or 2.5. Now I'll come in by 1 inch for that intake at this side. So if you're plus size, you'll be using 1.5 inches at both sides, or if you're a bit busty. So I'll just go ahead and place my tape, my ruler, sorry, and I'm going to connect. So after I'm done connecting now, the next step I'm going to take is to go ahead to use my marker to outline this before we start imputing my measurements. I'll come down by ½ inch here. This is to avoid my pattern from being pointy. Now I'm going to connect from here to here and connect from the other part of my bust to my under bust. After I'm done connecting, for my dart intake, instead of marking 1 inch, I'll mark 0.75 and I'll go ahead to connect. And I'll also connect at the other side. This is because I don't want to have much gaping at the upper part of my pattern, because this dress is a tube dress. So if you're a busty person, you can use 1.25 there. So I'll go ahead and mark my bust circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake I took out from here, and I'll add my sewing allowance. Going over to the bust, I'm going to mark my bust circumference divided by 4, measure the dart intake I have here, replace, and add my sewing allowance. After I'm done marking that, I'll connect this way. Go down to my under bust, measure what you have around your under bust, divide it by 4 mark, measure the 2 inches dart intake, mark, and also add your sewing allowance. After I'm done marking this, I'm going to go ahead to mark my waist circumference divided by 4, measure my dart intake, place, and add my sewing allowance. Here I'll mark my hip circumference divided by 4, measure these 2 inches, and add my sewing allowance. So for this pattern, you can go ahead to use any sewing allowance of your choice. So I'll just place my pattern and I'm going to connect this all the way down. After connecting, I'll go ahead and outline the hemline of the dress, and at the upper part I'll just extend it all the way to the side of the pattern. And next I'll mark a basic neckline of 3 inches and I'll mark 2 inches here. Now I'll connect this down and then also mark 2 inches here and connect. So this is the part that will be extending to the lower to the back pattern of the dress. So next, I'm going to mark my bust dart. To get your bust dart is the difference between your shoulder to waist in front and your shoulder to waist at the back. My shoulder to waist in front is 17 inches. My shoulder to waist at the back is 15 and a half. So taking out 15 and a half from 17 will give me 1.5. That is how I got my bust dart. Now at this neckline, I'll mark a basic neckline of 3 by 1 inch, which I'll go ahead to measure. This will help you know what to attach at the back part of your dress for the extension of the sleeve. So after measuring, what I got was 3.5. So whatever I have here now, I'll add additional 3.5 to it. Then when I'm cutting out my pattern, I'll be cutting it on fold because there's no joining at the neckline, right? So this is just to get the actual length of this pattern. So whatever you're adding, you're cutting, you add your joining allowance to it because of the lower part of this dress. Now what I have here is 11 inches. So while cutting on fold, I'll cut 22 inches so that it will start from one side of the neckline to the other side of the neckline also. So after this, I'm just going to go ahead to cut this out. You can also go ahead to blend the upper part of the side of this pattern. So at this point, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. And to also join us for our Bustier class, which is just going for 1,500. This class is very beginner friendly. So we are going to be teaching you how to properly take measurement for your bustier, how to draft your different types of bustier pattern, and also we will have practical class on how to make a bustier pattern. You can also go ahead to join us on our 5 days corset class. So if you're still having issues on how to draft a corset, you can join us on our 5 days corset class, where we'll be teaching you how to draft different types of corset, especially for a beginner that is still having issues on understanding or drafting a corset pattern. This class is for you. It's very detailed and easy to understand. So after I'm done cutting out my pattern, this is what I have, and next we'll be drafting out the back pattern. For the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out the basic measurement just like we did for the front. The only difference is that the shoulder to waist at the back is shorter than that of the front, and after that you add 5 inches for your blouse length or take your blouse length. Next, you're going to also mark your zipper. So for the zipper line or zipper, I have 1.5 inches. You can use also 2 inches for your zipper. After that, go ahead and mark your nipple to nipple divided by 2 and take that measurement all the way down. Go ahead to place your ruler and draw out a straight line. You'll be marking ½ inch on both sides of your pattern this way. After marking that, come down by 1 inch here, and you're going to extend your mark from that point to your waistline, and also extend this at the lower part of this pattern. After that, also mark this going towards the lower part of this pattern. After you're done, you're going to insert your measurement from from the zipper line. Start taking your measurement, mark your bust divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. So after you're done marking that, you're going to go ahead to mark your waist circumference divided by 4. Measure the dart intake, replace and add your sewing allowance. Here at the lower part, mark your hip circumference divided by 4 and add your sewing allowance. So after I'm done marking that, I'm going to go ahead to place my tape and then my ruler and connect to the lower part. Outline the hem line of your pattern. So after I'm done marking this now, I'm going to go ahead to come in by ½ inch here, and this is to get rid of the bulginess at the zipper of the dress. So the only difference is when you take it out, it might reduce your allowance by the side. You can go ahead to replace it, or if you're having enough zipper allowance, you can just leave it that way. So come down by ½ inch from here and connect. This is to avoid your zipper from popping up when you're actually putting on the dress. After that, just go ahead and cut out your pattern, and your pattern is ready. So I'll go ahead and cut this out, and if you find this tutorial very interesting and educative, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and also join us on our next video. Thanks.